Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Drak. We're playing EU4. We're playing as Venice on hard difficulty. We're playing with the newest DLC, Golden Century and historical lucky nations. These lucky nations are actually doing pretty well, like Muscovy looking very powerful here in the east, growing and growing and growing. Denmark has actually managed to hold on to its personal union with Sweden, which is interesting to see. I think they should also be a lucky nation. I'm not 100% sure, but it's probably the case. It is probably the case that they're able to keep Sweden down there. Now that they've integrated Norway, they should be able to also integrate Sweden. They've integrated Holstein. They haven't really made big forays into the HRE. In fact, Lübeck is actually going very strong up here. Just wanted to go a little bit over the state of the world. No real Prussia has formed over here, and it doesn't seem very likely that it is gonna form, because we have a very beefy Poland, but Brandenburg doesn't really have to form Prussia to be very powerful, because they have the Prussian ideas from the get-go, and now that they've gone through the first two, they're slowly coming up to the ones that are actually getting really powerful, so still watch this space over here. Bohemia has done very well, eaten half of Hungary, and kind of also stopped Austria from getting all that big. I think at some point we might have to make the switch towards France. As an ally away from Castile and probably also away from Austria. I still want to use Austria for one or two wars maybe. The goals are a little bit smaller now at this point. Ottomans are completely taken over by Ottoman particularists over here, and since none of these states, neither Poland nor Byzantium, nor Serbia, nor Bosnia, no one is going to give them access to that part of the realm, so they're basically screwed. They're no longer going to be able to do this. The sensible thing would be, in this case, to give all this to a vassal, because the vassal might actually be able to build some troops and police this if they have no access to this part, or they should even just sell it. Or maybe try to conquer a way over there, but that's going to be difficult for sure. We're in a good position now. We're making money hand over fist. I'm pretty happy about that. 33.62. Yeah, I would like to make a little bit more money, but it's difficult. It's difficult to reduce our expenses even further. I mean, we're still paying $1 in interest. We have some state maintenance happening, but all things considered, things are already going pretty well. What we could actually do is, in Russia, we could put on this enforced religious unity. That should probably make the conversion go a little bit faster. I think that's going to be well worth it, even if we're locked in for 10 years then to do a thing. This place, we don't have a marketplace here, but it's already providing a lot of trade power. I wonder if we shouldn't go ahead and protect trade. This should probably be able to repay for itself. Often it's not really a thing. We could also go promote military recruitment to just gain a little bit more manpower. We're down on 24,000. That is not a ton. We can't go for religion enforced edict, so that's one of the things that we can get here. We don't want to join the Reformation. Finishing the humanist ideas is still something that I want to do, although diplomatic ideas kind of look stronger. Create a colonial empire, no. We could convert another nation. That's probably all that we can really do. We don't own all Latin provinces, so that's also going to be pretty difficult. Don't think we're going to see much progress from our side in the Age of Reformation. Persian reinforcement, Polish crown, Mughal artillery, Spanish tertios. This really is the time of Spain, but I do want to stop them from moving further into Italy. Other than that, England has managed to unify the British Isles. I guess we can expect a Britannia from them very soon. Great Britain. France is having some problems down here. They've been taken over by the Papal State, but yeah, Papal State is mainly surviving because they're allied with Austria at this point. We'll see how the rest really works. We'll probably want to go for a little bit of a building project. So if we have at least 5 workshops, this should be good. Complete the mission high income. That's going to give us another 10 tax income, so probably very well worth it. The strong treasury, we need to store $2,000. And then we get some inflation reduction for 25 years. We could definitely use that, because we have a lot of inflation from taking a lot of loans. Other than that, improving our trade fleet is a bit of a priority here, but we are still at a point where we are over our force limit in terms of naval power. One of the things that I want to do is diplovassalize the knights to feed them some part of the Ottomans over here. So that might be something. What is Byzantium planning? Yeah, so they basically want all their land back, but the ruler is also militarist, so, and they get what I tell them that they get. It's not like they have an automatic option on all of this stuff. Right, let's continue. Let's just make a little bit of money, get rid of our mercs. Ministry of the Waterways. The safety and prosperity of Venice has always relied upon its location in its lagoon. In 1501, in an effort to reduce the silting up of the lagoon, the Great Council formed a committee to deflect the rivers flowing into it. A committee known as the Salvielacque. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that. Their success over the years saved the Serenissima from disaster and extended the prosperity of the city. What shall we do? So 50 admin power for minus 25% local development cost. That is awesome. Sure. Sure, why not? So that brings development cost down to 96. Still not amazing, even though we have this. Like, we have the coastal center of trade, level 3, which reduces development cost by quite a bit, so that's nice. But we're already fairly high, like 34 is a lot of development. I think historically this is the time where Venice was like at its biggest. So they had like, I think, 180,000 inhabitants during that time, and were the biggest city in the world for a while, or at least in the Western world. I mean, at this point in time, they're like huge cities over in China that we don't even know about. Okay, so the Reformation is slowly but surely creeping further south. I'm not super happy with it. Austria is hiring an army from Liège. Okay. What's Salzburg now doing? They're Protestant. They're Protestant bishopric. Yeah, this is all not too great for the authority of the emperor. It's already looking pretty bad. We kind of have to ditch Austria at some point, because I really don't want to be pulled into the 30 Years' War. I'd rather avoid that. It's a bit gnarly. It's a nasty thing to get into. Allied with Switzerland, Genoa, and Modena. If I were to attack Cyprus, which has its independence guaranteed, I would be going to war with the Trade League of Genoa, which is just Mantua and Genoa and Cyprus at this point. We would have to fight the Mamluks. I just don't think it's worth it doing it now when we're super low on manpower, so I actually do want to postpone it a little bit. We're 37 or 38, so let's make sure. Like, I want at least 20 units of infantry. Ulm has left our trade league. They left because they wanted to. It shows they obviously can't be trusted. Weird. Ulm, what are you doing, man? Size of the trade league, hard, neutral attitude. Come on, don't be like that. I mean, okay, if they think they're better off elsewhere, let them, I guess. Invite to trade league. No one's willing to do it. Theodoro is close, but they can't since they're bigger than one province. Augsburg. Trade League members may only have one province. Oh yeah, Augsburg basically grew out of it. They have now Ingolstadt and Landshut taken from Bavaria, so that's not gonna happen. Okay, sure. So we still have the missionary going. I think what we'll do is we'll actually activate this bonus here. High income to get some construction done. So what we need is have at least 5 churches, have at least 5 workshops. Let's go ahead and build some workshops. Well, we gotta be actions. No, it needs to be over here. Buildings. Right. So the other thing that we could do is we could try to push the guilds into power, but I have to spend admin power for this. And a fairly big chunk. So I'd rather not. It is another 20% cost, but we're making so much money that I don't think the savings are really worth it. So let's just do it like that. Workshop, we're going to make 0.65 over here, 0.41 over here because of the paper. 0.25, I think that's still worth it, but maybe we'll do it like in our home place. We'll do it in Brescia. That's about it. That should give us enough to fulfill that mission and get that additional tax income, I think. Why can't we build anything in here anymore? Because we already have the workshop. That's fine. We already have the workshop here. We can basically build a building every 3rd month. Bribes are growing more accepted. What's the difference between an honest man and a fool? The fool doesn't know he's being swindled. So goes an increasingly common saying in Venice. Why? We have no corruption whatsoever. I mean, we have a bit of corruption from religious unity, but come on. It's just a saying. Guess we'll pay that down. Yeah, even with fully rooting out corruption, we're still making a ton of money. I love it. There's a lot of troops marching through our lands. Utrecht has been fully annexed by Oldenburg. I wonder if the Emperor is gonna ask back for that. Church. Do we have places where church is worth it? 19 taxation, 21 taxation, 13. I think we should still go mainly for trade. So marketplace, yeah, that's gonna give us a ton of trade power. Going in those trade center areas to get those marketplaces up and running. That's gonna be good. Two more months where we have to pay to root out corruption, and then things should be fine. We have a fair amount of inflation at this point, boosting almost all costs by 7.3%, but I really don't want to spend the admin power to buy that down right now. And the missionary, having the missionary going is also important for me. Thicker than water. To many powerful people in Venice, contacts or wealth determine status, but nobles still value blood ties highly. Even though the nobles are far from the most powerful faction in our republic at this time, they still use the same methods to ensure loyalty. A recent request for the hand of your daughter from a well-known aristocratic family is clearly such an attempt. You know that this will force you to steer politics closer to their line and weaken the republic, but refusing will make it even more difficult to compel them to support your planned military reforms. So, can we afford to lose military power? I mean, we're not really ahead of time, but we are ahead of time, but losing 50 power now is going to cause some real trouble. We still do have a general though, so yeah, I do want to keep this because the national unrest is going to be a problem. We'll decline as politely as possible. No, let's not. Let's keep up the ideals of the Republic. Okay, and the corruption is almost rooted out. Call this guy. I might just want to commit one of these diplomats to outrage country and the other on to allies. How are these guys looking? 200. I should probably keep relations with Parma and Modena fairly high. Making some claims would be good, probably, on Mantua and Urbino and Romana, just so we can go to war. They're losing that war against France. If I were to attack them right now, they might not even come in to help them. Let's build some more stuffs here. Marketplace. That a lot of places where we can still profit a lot from marketplaces. 140. Yeah, 11 trade power here. Okay, let's go up to speed 4. Not doing much. Okay, getting this done. Done improving with Castile. If I were to attack them now, would Austria still come in? No. Austria would decline. Portugal would still come in. Poland, I could call him Poland. That could be fun. The question is if these guys wouldn't let them march through, but they could always go through the Byzantines. Okay, this might be the time to humiliate them a little. Could go and force peace. You need to have France to have an opinion of at least 100 of you, and it's currently 69. Is this an attack war? No, French conquest of Provence. Okay. So I could just broker peace here. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Let's go build a spy network. I wouldn't mind freeing Romana here. Making it a trade city, and maybe even Ancona. There's nothing that I can release in Romana, and we still have a fairly high amount of aggressive expansion. 26, 26, 32, 32, 52 over here in the Papal State, but these guys would be the only ones that really take all that aggressive expansion. Fine. I would also... Well, Umbria still has a thing. Could probably release all these states as vassals. Now let's finish the trade ideas, get our last merchant. Trade contour network. We have a free policy available, so we can go with the military policy. Yeah, we'll get another merchant and reduce our regiment costs. And the first policy is actually free. Must be enacted for at least 10 years. Doesn't cost us anything, which is nice. We have 2 merchants now. Where do we put them? So we have this one. We could still try to funnel things from Krakow. So we have not a lot of incoming and outgoing over here. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I think it's time to collect from trade in Genoa. And it might even be worth it to collect from trade in the English Channel. Let's see if that actually hurts our income. Let's repay that loan. It's not worth it, apparently. I mean, we're still making 40, but... Okay, we managed to convert the people in Zeta. Let's go ahead and convert the people in Kosovo. Cannot change the culture of a province that has separatism. When is separatism gonna end? 27. Ah, damn it. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, it's probably still not worth it to have the merchant in Genoa. We just don't have enough power. Where are we? Venice. Income minus 12%. Collecting from trade, not in your main trade city. Okay, I guess we're gonna transfer trade power here, try to steer it towards Vienna. We have a fair amount of power over here, and it propagates downstream. Yeah, we have 21% now, so that does a little bit. And I think we could do the same in Kiev. Or is there another thing where I can steer? Where are you? only outgoing to Rhineland and Lübeck. In this place, I cannot steer that anywhere. Tunis. Okay, no, there's actually a way for us to steer trade coming in Sevilla via Tunis into Alexandria, I guess? No. Damn it. Why does Tunis have no connection? So it's either Genoa or Sevilla for you. And Sevilla only has Genoa as the place where it can go. Okay, that's a damn shame. So this is kind of out of the question. We don't have access to the node behind this. The Gulf of Aden is kind of close to us right now because it is too far away. The trade node is also not discovered, I guess. And we could still go here, Astrakhan. That trade power would also propagate down the line, so maybe we'll do that. Oh, must be in range. Also not here, not in range. Sure. Okay, we'll do this then. Okay, 27, 21. Salzburg left our trade league. Why are people all leaving our trade league? What's happening there? Come on, Salzburg. You don't want to be friends anymore? I don't really get that. Come on, Salzburg. Let's improve relations. Maybe our relations have just too heavily deteriorated. These guys are still happy. Might be able to push Ulm. Size of trade league is a problem, though. These guys are still in the trade league. They're still happy with us. These guys are in the trade league. They're still happy. Parma's happy. Modena's happy. Zagreb, they're happy. What else do we have? The Knights are in there. Memmingen, I think I checked them already. They're happy. Savoy, where you looking? Yeah, they're happy with us. Okay, well, I guess I don't really have to do much. I wish there was a notification telling me that we're steering towards losing one of our trade members. Well, that's okay. We have the mission fulfilled. I think we still have the modifier that reduces the tax that we get by 15%. No, I guess that has already decayed. Strengthen government. Spend 88 military power to strengthen your government. Gain 3 Republican tradition. Right, I forgot that that exists. That's actually a thing. You can promote Lombard culture. That might be worth doing. And they have like 23% of our state cores. Let's do it. What else did I want to do? Right, yeah, take that thing. Build buildings. Yes, so we can 10 tax income. Build a treasury. We have to keep 2,000 bucks together. I'd rather use the construction cost from over here. Well, it'll happen organically that we get those 2,000 bucks. There's still 7 trade power to be had over here. 3.70 over here. 0.81, 210. I don't really want to build that in vassal provinces. That's not really worth it. Well, it will probably be worth it here. They don't have the money to make these kinds of buildings. Workshop, let's see if we can get some. Yeah, 0.26. It's probably worth it here. Let's do that. And then we're out of money again. So now we should be making 40 or something close to it. Making 42 in trade now. Austria will cede Luxembourg and Freigrafschaft to France. Okay, crazy. They're still allied though. Brittany wants military access? Sure, you can march through my land if you want to. Do we want to go for the humanist idea group now? I think so. National decision, so we can go declaration of indulgence, tolerance of heretics +1. Sure. How's our heretic tolerance? Yeah, still -2. Religion mocked by natural philosopher. I hope that takes away at some point. We only have 85% unity. Could probably try to take all these bonuses and convert people as quickly as possible, but I'm not really interested in them. Statute and restraint of the appeals. No, our ruler isn't good enough. Advancement of religion. These all need a theologian. Blasphemy Act. Yeah, tolerance of heretics is bad. If we reduce that, because that's not what we're about. I think we're just gonna push ahead with the humanist idea. I mean, there is an argument to be made also for influence ideas. Not so much for the income as for the flat reduction in liberty desire. Diplomatic relations, diplomatic reputation, vassal force limit contribution, and all that is probably not something that we need. We could also just go directly towards diplomatic ideas. Get 2 additional diplomats. We already have a lot. There's the Diplo Rep, the +2 that I would love. Lowered impact on stability from diplomatic actions. Province war score cost. Like, yeah, we can also get a fair amount of Diplo Rep from here. If we had 4 additional diplomatic reputation from those 2 ideas, that would be crazy. What else could be good? Expansion ideas. Colonist gives us another merchant. Center of trade upgrade cost is awesome. Oh. It does give us 1 additional relation. Colonists, 20% global trade power. We probably want to go this. We have to plan out a little bit what we want, but I think this is still a good thing. Like reducing the years of separatism, increasing the amount of promoted cultures. The flat bonus to improve relations will also cause our aggressive expansion to tick down passively, which is awesome. And all around the tolerance things. Let's just have a look at the policies that we get from this. So, what do we already have? Plutocratic. That gives us more promoted cultures and institution spread. Meh. Trade ideas. -10% idea cost. And +20% institution spread. Ooh, that is sick. That is a really good bonus. Do we have anything else? Prestige decay. Less war exhaustion is nice. Ship durability with naval ideas. Foreign aid act. With influence ideas, this gives us diplo reputation and relations, which is pretty great. And with diplomatic ideas, it'll give us +20% additional improved relations, so we would be able to have all that stuff tick down really, really fast. I think this is a winner. I think we'll take humanist ideas. It's very fitting for Venice. You used to have all those Renaissance things in Venice, stationed in Venice, like the early printers, and it was generally like a safe haven for people. Unless you were trying to hurt the Venetian state, then you were given to the Venetian Inquisition. They had like people actually trying to stop people from bringing the Venetian state down. I don't think that's a bad thing, actually. Like, if you live in a certain form of state and you want to hold on to it, sometimes you actually have enemies that don't like that kind of constitution, but they can probably go somewhere else or work in a way that where they can just try to take democratic influence and project power that way. But if they're just trying to destroy the state, and that can actually happen. Like, look at the Weimar Republic in Germany, where the state was kind of not even helpless. They were actually, the judicial system in the Weimar Republic were actually actively helping the political right to evade justice by giving them very, very mild sentences, and generally to undermine the fabric of the Weimar Republic. If you have that kind of stuff, your state is always going to be unstable. So having a state inquisition here, it sounds kind of weird because the Inquisition has a really bad name. But I think a state that is looking to try be stable, try to remove its enemies, and there are always enemies of a liberal constitution like Venice had that. Like they had that Inquisition, but they also had ways to protect their own citizens from being abused by organs of the state and people that had power. Like, for example, the people that were having an office in the state, they still could be sued. So they were not freed from punishment. So they had to kind of look and be a little bit careful lest they piss off all their neighbors and then be sued once they're out of office. And I think in the end it was a very successful government form. Like, it was very stable, very long. Okay, Poland is marching against the Ottomans again. I'm not against it. I'm not against that at all. Would like to get my galleys up. So let's unmothball these. But in general, I think it's a good idea. How's the fleet? Country, scroll through the ages. I guess I gotta go through this, so let's get rid of it. Navies. Where are the Ottomans? The Ottomans are even on here. Where are you? Come on. Ottomans. They have one transport and 2 light ships. What the heck? Okay. We'll accept their call to arms. We're gonna stop them from getting into our lands. We even captured a ship. So we got a light ship out of it. Nice. I take it. I take it. We're gonna repair damaged ships. So yeah, this is an ideal point in time where Poland should take these lands. We should probably assist them in some form or fashion. We're still making a ton of money here. Still a lot of money. Let's get rid of our mercs. I think we have enough troops as is. 36 of 38. Could probably use a couple more cannons. Now that I come to think of it. They are expensive, yes, but having more cannons is always good. Where are my galleys? Where are my galleys at? We need to go blockading. Okay, how is the balance of power? 32k. I mean, Akoyunlu is not inconsiderable here, but yeah, they only have 5 units of artillery. We have 3 times that. They are military tech 9, just as we are. Hey, look at Byzantium. Building things. Nice. Very good, Byzantium. Oh man, and these guys have already a wall breach. Sometimes that kind of stuff really sickens me. Let's have the cogs reactivated as well. We're probably gonna drop down into the negative even further. Truce with Avignon has ended, so they're no longer gonna steer stuff towards us. I'm not gonna support your independence against France. That's not gonna happen, I don't think. But we can take some claims on the Papal States here. So how about we take Romana, and we're also able to take Ancona if we wait a little bit. If we were to attack you now. Austria is not going to come in on their side though, so that's hilarious. They're just about at the point where they would though. So I would have to pull Austria into another war and then attack these guys. That's how it would have to go. So how are the knights looking? Still not there for the vassalization. I mean, it's only minus 50 now, but It's gonna be very difficult to get above that. I think we'll go for an admin focus now. And maybe promote this advisor. We still want to keep missionizing. I think that's a good idea. I want more admin points. We need more admin points. So our cannons getting ready. Come on, boys. Build us those cannons. Okay. Now, considering that is a pretty big army, I think we're going to split that in two. So we have the Venetian Corps, and we're going to have the... We're going to have the Republican Guard. Yep, very good. I think we're going to give our ruler command. Yeah, could be worse. So now we have two armies. We're going to add the Venetian Corps to this fleet right away. And we'll bring them over to Constantinople to stop these guys from getting over here. For now, I'm going to end the episode here. Next time we'll fight the Ottomans again. Should not be too much of a problem. I think the Ottomans are pretty much finished at this point. So yeah, hope you join me next time. Thanks, and bye-bye.